Ta-da! Oh, I was starting to think I wasn't going to go live tonight. It has just been kind of a weird day. What do I need? There, Daryl. All right, let me see. Hello, everyone. That might not work. Oh my God. We are just flying by the seat of our pants tonight. All right. First of all, I dozed off. I thought I had set my alarm and I dozed off. And so I'm coming on a little bit late. And welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And we're going to do some medicine card readings. I am so disorganized tonight. Thank you for your patience. Hi, Anna. All right. Woofda. Welcome. And, oh, hi, Brittany. Yeah. Got you. All right. So, here we are. Another Monday night. And, wow. Comedy of errors. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Started a little bit late. If you've been with me the last couple of weeks, you know my kitchen light was starting to go out, so it was actually kind of dark, and it decided today that it was done, so it's gone. So I had to find a different light source, and like I said, I fell asleep. I was drawing and watching Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I had my alarm set, I thought, and nope. I dozed off. I woke up. It was like 8:03 or something, and oh crap. So welcome. And the way this works, if you haven't been here before, or if you're joining us on the repeat, the first 6 people to comment yes get a 1-card medicine card reading. And if you are not one of the first 6, or like I said, if you're watching this on repeat, you are not out of luck. All you need to do is choose a number between 1 and 6 and pay attention to that card. And I promise, even though it may be aimed at someone else, that your guidance will be dovetailed in there somehow. So, oofda. And my only ask for watching is if you would please share my video. You can send it to someone else. You can post it on your page. You can tag someone in the comments. I'm trying to learn how to do marketing, and I am not very good at it. So please help me pass the word. If you've had readings or healings with me, etc., tell your friends. Yeah. So it looks like it might be a slow night tonight anyway, so I might get back to my nap sooner than I expected. All right, so let's just go ahead and start. Whoops. Oh, jeez. Yeah, everything is wonky tonight, so please forgive any weirdness that happens. There we go. I have acting as my phone holder tonight is Daryl. This is Daryl, and pardon the mess around. Just kind of shows. Daryl is my little Tyrannosaurus. Okay, here we go. The Fae. Yeah, Valerie, that's probably right. Hi, Carly. Cheesy Pete's. Okay. There we go. All right. Got you, Carly. I actually did, I did a shamanic healing on a woman today, and the Fae were very, very present. So Valerie just said that the Fae are here, the Fae are present. It's probably got a lot to do with it. So, not to mention my affinity for coyote. So, all right, well, let's just go get started. So, card number 1 is for Anna. All right, Anna. You had a card jump out as Buffalo in reverse. Hey, Carly. So Buffalo in reverse. Try to get it so it's not glaring. Buffalo, of course, is about abundance. And if you hear me repeating things it's like, oh yeah, he said that before, he said that before. I have a tendency to repeat myself, and that's partially for the benefit of those who might be finding my videos for the first time and haven't heard them before, etc. But Buffalo medicine is about abundance, and Buffalo was the lifeblood of the Plains Indians. Buffalo provided everything. Food, shelter, clothing, tools, everything they had came from Buffalo. Buffalo was like the one-stop shopping. And so, when Buffalo shows up in reverse, it's not that, oh God, you're poor, oh, you're screwed, or anything like that. It's more that there's a source of abundance around you that you aren't seeing yet. And so, there might be one area in your life, everything else is fine and working and all of that. But there might be one area in your life that is kind of like pulling teeth or something, right? It's like it just doesn't work, and what's going on. And so, stop trying so hard. That's what just came to me. Stop pushing, stop forcing. That what is yours cannot pass you by. If something is yours, you can't. Opportunity does not only knock once. If it is meant for you, it will find you. And so it's kind of that, again, that rather than seeking what you're looking for, seeking alignment, seeking stillness, and allowing it to come to you. It's kind of like that whole saying about can't see the forest for the trees. It's like, or like the elephant in the room. It's like there's something right in front of you that you're not seeing, that's ready to help, that's going to be like the answer to some big burning question. And you're just not seeing it at the moment. And so my advice is to ground, you know, like buffalo, they're very grounded, right? I mean, they're like a mountain of flesh, and there's no moving them. You can't push them out of the way. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to go to cow tipping with buffalo or not, but they're not, they are not easily swayed, I'll put it that way. And so okay, and what was just coming to me too was that sometimes, I learned this from Kyle Cease, that sometimes the thing that seems to be blocking you, the thing that you use as your reason or excuse not to do something is actually the exact reason for you to keep moving forward. And the example I remember is like people who put off their career because of kids or whatever. It's like, oh, I can't do that right now because I've got kids and I've got to take care of them, etc. But because you're taking care of your kids is even more reason to seek your own fulfillment, because what better role model can you be than to follow your own joy and your own dreams rather than sacrificing it for their sake? You know, same thing with like a lot of people who stay together because of the kids. All that does is creates more energetic fallout in the future for the kids, right? Instead of if you just followed your path, were upright and, you know, in your integrity and said, this is what's going on, and choosing yourself first is the best thing you can do for your kids, right? And so it's just a matter of looking at what, if you're feeling blocked in one area or something is not working, rather than to keep pushing, surrender, you know, meditate, seek alignment, align with spirit, and allow spirit to open the way. One of the most powerful prayers that I know of is, clear the path before me. Thank you for clearing the path before me. And then, you know, buffalo, I was just thinking earlier about, I was reading something about like clearing obstacles and stuff, and I'm like, when that comes up, I always think of Ganesha. And it's like, buffalo is kind of like the North American version of Ganesha. It's like, if you've got obstacles, let the buffalo clear the path for you, right? And along that lines as well, you know, the thing with buffalo medicine is that when there is something, like with buffalo, when there's a storm, they turn their head straight into the storm and they start walking, and they walk through the storm because they're unmovable, right? I just said that they're immovable, and by walking into the storm doesn't last as long, and they get out of it quicker, and there's nothing that can take them down. The storm is not more powerful than they are. And so it's like, okay, let's go. And I've been doing this a lot lately. If some of you that know, in my life personally, there's been a lot of changes and things falling apart and rearranging themselves. And it's like every time a new thing comes up, I just like, rather than, oh, poor me, or like sitting back like, oh my God, and freaking out, it's like, okay, let's do this. You know, realizing that Whatever is in front of you is the path. And if it's in front of you, you can handle it. Nothing is going to come at you that is beyond you. That's just the nature of the universe and frequencies, right? Nothing is going to come at you that is more powerful than you. Nothing is going to happen that is going to take you out. I mean, things happen and you know, you can die or whatever, but die or whatever, that's kind of a weird sentence. But your soul is eternal, and there is nothing that can take that away from you. You are an eternal being of divine light and love. That is your essence, and nothing can change that. That's the one immovable fact, is that you were here before time began. You will be here after time ends. And there's nothing in between that can destroy you. It's just that simple. So keep going. Head into the storm, keep going. And thank you for clearing the path before me. All right. I hope that helps. All right. So card number 2. Yeah, we might have like a short night tonight. We've only got 3 people. All right. So Brittany is card number 2. All right, Brittany, you got Whale in reverse. A lot of reverse cards tonight. Whale is the record keeper. Whale is kind of like the librarian of the earth. And it's said that Whale sings the history of the world in her song, which is interesting because a while back I read in a science magazine about how scientists were confused because whales, their song stays consistent year after year, except for a little bit of extra added on at the end of the songs. And so it's like water is the best conductor of sound. And I got an idea to see if I can move my phone up a little bit. We're a work in progress. Anyway, so like whales they literally talk to other whales on the other side of the planet. Oh, Valerie, you want one too? Awesome. So, okay. God. Comedy of errors. All right. So whale. I just heard that it's time to stop acting small. It's like how do I put this? I think a lot of it is confidence. There we go. Sorry, I'm still playing around with my phone trying to get it stable. It doesn't want to stay there, right? Okay. Pardon me. Okay. Come on. I had it and I had to mess with it. So, okay, back to Brittany and Whale. It's like, in reverse, you know, Whale is the monarch of the sea, right? Undisputed, one of the most magnificent animals on the planet. And like totally in his element. I mean, there is no place else that whale could survive except the oceans, right? And it's, how do I put this? In reverse, it can be a feeling of being overwhelmed, of being out of your element, being tossed by the waves and the currents and everything, and realizing like what it's asking for is to recognize in yourself the strengths, your strengths, and realize that, kind of like what I was just saying for Anna, what did I do? Gosh, okay, grounding. I apologize, everyone. Thank you for your perseverance and your patience. Now that I got my phone stable, I've got light. Whatever is in front of you is the path. There is nothing happening that you can't handle. And the same thing is like, the whale is the monarch of the sea. The whale doesn't worry about being washed away. The whale can go to the bottom of the ocean and back up. The whale is not at the mercy of the seas, you know, and water is usually about emotions, right? And feelings, and the wishy-washy world, everything coming at you. Like whale, if the surface of the water is too rough, stormy, whatever, they'll just drop down to a level where there's stillness and no waves, etc. And so it's about meditating or aligning, whatever you do, to center yourself, to drop out of the chaos of the world, okay? Like if your life is really chaotic, which it is for a lot of people right now, it's like, let go of that. Stop trying to fix the outside world. Stop trying to react to the world and the waves, because it's like one hits you, then one hits you from the other way, and it's not sustainable. You need stability. And that stability is within you. And so whatever ways that you can do that, to meditate, sing, chant, Tai Chi, yoga, whatever it is that centers you, it's important to let go of that outside world, let go of the storms, and know that the storms of life will take care of themselves. They will blow themselves out. You don't have to be in control of it. You don't have to take care of it. Take a breath and drop into yourself. Because even when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's like this star here, that's the dog star Sirius. It's the brightest star in the night sky. And according to mythology, that is where Whale is from. And so no matter what's going on, Whale always has her bearings. She always knows where home is. Brightest star in the night. And so the peace, how do I put this? It's like, be your own North Star. Your North Star is those things that bring you joy, those things that make you feel calm, those things that right, they make you feel that you can let go. Whatever can help you in that way, follow that. That is the trail of breadcrumbs to follow. Whatever it is that makes you feel a little bit better. Like I said, it's breadcrumbs, so it might not be this whole splash and you're there. And there's a really good meditation that I learned from Martha Beck, and which may be helpful here. It's like she start the meditation where you picture yourself in this boat on the surface of the water, right? And the water is choppy, you're being tossed around. And so you basically put on your scuba gear or whatever, and you throw a line out, and you jump out of the boat, and you continue to just go down this line, down, 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 until you feel calm, until you feel the stillness and the peace and the serenity of going to that depth. And then you just sit there for a while and breathe. And it's at that place that you start to remember who you are in that darkness. Sometimes, like, one of the definitions of the word shaman is one who sees in the dark. And so, oh my God, what the heck? That was timely. Okay. I hope you guys are as entertained at this as I am. This is just ridiculous. So, one who sees in the dark, right? So a lot of times when we're doing our shamanic work, we actually put, I even have mine right here. We put like a scarf or an eye covering over our eyes in order to make it really dark, because we go into the darkness to find the light. Give me 1 second here. I have my light plugged into my laptop. And my laptop turned off, so... Oh, perfect. There. Now my laptop won't turn off. But sometimes in order, you need to go into the darkness to see the light, because the light you're looking for is the light in your own heart. And if you're being blinded and overwhelmed by the glare of everything going on around you, you can't see that light. And so you have to go into that darkness. You have to go inward. And once you can shut out all the sensations of the outer world, that's when you can find your own light again. And then you can hold on to that light. You can wait for the storm to blow over, and then crawl back up that rope into the boat and carry that light with you into the world. Does that make sense, Brittany? And I mean, sometimes, like I said, it's breadcrumbs. It's a process. So, you know, you might have 5 or 10 minutes to do that kind of a meditation. Breathe a little easier, come back up and do what you need to do in the outer world. And, you know, it's kind of like, and it can be something like, if you do it enough, can be something that you can do on the spur of the moment. If you can just, even like if you're at work or out around, or like just like go into the bathroom and sit down and just breathe and just, okay, I'm in my boat, I'm diving over, I'm just going down that line as deep as I need to be till I can find that peace and that stillness. And then just stay there for as long as you can. And then come back, you know, you get a little bit of that light, bring that light back up, even if it means going back into the storm, because that light doesn't go away. That light never dims. That's that eternal part I was just talking about earlier. It's always there. And it's just a matter of being able to tune out everything else so that you can find that light. And like I always say, it's like alignment first and then action, right? It's like if you're acting when you're not in alignment, all you're doing is adding to the chaos. All you're doing is rearranging boxes. You're not actually making progress. You're not actually changing anything. And so to find that alignment first, and what you might find, this is kind of a combination of Heron medicine as well, because your calmness, staying in that place, bringing that calmness with you into the storm, you might actually find the storm calming around you. It's like you become the eye of the storm. So even though it may be raging and rampaging around you, it doesn't touch you. You're immune to it. Okay? And it's time to stop playing small. You are meant to be, you're the sovereign monarch of your own life. You are in your element. It feels overwhelming right now, maybe, but that's because it's time to expand your understanding and your sense of who you are. And then the waters work for you. And then you are the monarch. And you're not, it's like, you're not, I was talking about buffalo being immovable. Can you imagine? Cow tipping doesn't work with whales. I'll put it that way. So trust that everything that's happening is the path. That if it's in front of you, there is something to learn from it. And it might be, asking the universe, asking your guide, say, please show me this from a different perspective. Show me what I need to learn from this. Show me how to see this from a higher perspective. And again, like I said with Anna and Buffalo, it's like, clear the path before me. My path is cleared before me. Thank you for clearing my path. And watch, watch the seas part in front of you. Okay? I hope that is helpful. I can't believe that. Yeah, the fairies, I need to do something for the Fae because they're messing with me. That was too perfect of a synchronicity to... You're welcome, Brittany. You're welcome. I've told you this before, that you are one of the most powerful people I know. And speaking from experience, I've mentioned how I went through like a decade, at least, of extreme panic attacks and anxiety. And one of the things that I realized toward the end of that was that I needed to expand. I looked for ways, even if it was just learning something, reading a new book, learning something new every day. Because a lot of the storm, you know, it was like feeling just totally trapped in this storm of electricity and feelings and all this too much information. And I realized that it was my own energy. It was like I needed to expand, but because I was living in such a small bubble, my world, my realm was such a small bubble that there wasn't enough room for me to expand. And so I was like bouncing off the sides of this bubble. And so most of that energy coming back at me was my own stuff. It wasn't even from the outside world. And so the more you can expand, the more you will feel those things tapering off. Okay? Oofda. All right. Card number 3 for Carly. Life is such an adventure. You're double welcome, Brittany. All right, Carly, number 3. Actually, I wouldn't mind if it was kind of a shorter thing tonight. Like I said, I could go to sleep right here, right now. I had this idea. This is just my weird mind, the way my mind works. But I had this idea of taking naps on camera for people who don't want to sleep alone. And being, you know, and it would be like a ceremonial thing. Like I would set sacred space and then I would take a nap and, you know, invoke that divine light so that that would be coming out, you know, radiating out through my phone, and so that other people who may have trouble napping or whatever, they might. I actually did that for a friend a long time ago. A friend was having a panic attack, and it was like late at night, and I'm like, well, what if I leave my camera on and I go to sleep? Would that make you feel better? And it worked. It made her feel a lot better. She felt calmer because she wasn't, I mean, she was in Canada and I'm here in the States, but it actually helped. So that's another idea I have. I've got tons of ideas. I just need to implement them. All right, Carly, card number 3. All right. So all the cards so far coming up reversed. Carly, you got Beaver in reverse. But that is not a bad thing. When the cards come up in reverse, at least in my readings, it's not that you're doing anything bad or wrong. It's like, oh crap, it's in reverse. What am I doing wrong? No, it's in reverse because it's like something in the wings or something that's happening behind the scenes that you're just not aware of yet. And so like this, Beaver in reverse, it's like Beaver is showing up to help you to get to where you need to be, right? It's like it gives you a direction. It gives you something to think about, something to start working on so that you can achieve beaverdom, whatever you want to call it. And so Beaver medicine, Beaver is the visionary. Beaver, not only, like when Beaver sees trees and bushes, etc., he sees dams and lodges. He doesn't just see a tree. He sees what can be done with the tree. He sees resources. And the thing is that the universe is not going to give you visions or desires or passions about something without providing the raw materials and resources with which to fulfill that dream or that vision. And, you know, Beaver's teeth, I actually, I have a couple of Beaver's teeth on a couple of medicine, I make medicine objects for myself to remind me, and I've got a couple that have beaver teeth on them because the beaver's teeth never stop growing. And to me, that's like the sign of faith that they're always going to have resources. They don't have to stop growing their teeth because they're always given resources to do what they need to do. And so they can just keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. And so trust your visions, trust your passions. That is your compass. And, you know, when you have a desire, when you have a passion or a dream or something, that is a gift from Creator telling you which direction to go in. And the thing is that you couldn't feel that sense of longing for something unless that something actually existed somewhere, right? And so this comes along to remind you to, like, you know, this might be a good exercise to sit down and write out, like, what is my vision for my life? What is it that I want to create with my life, right? And then trust that desire to do that, that longing for a certain way of life, or that longing to be someone that you haven't quite become yet. That is like Whale with the Sirius, that Sirius star, it's serious business. That becomes your North Star, right? And so you just keep, like Joseph Campbell used to talk about, following your bliss. And it's easy, again, you know, it's funny, all these cards seem to be kind of linked in a way, and it's like your dreams and your ideas can get drowned in the overbearing, you know, mechanisms of the world and society and all these different things. But you wouldn't have that awareness of what you want unless that actually existed. What am I trying to say? And that, again, you are the sovereign of your life. Your heart is your authority. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to justify yourself to anyone. I was just telling a client today about that, you know, there is no one in the universe who is more powerful than you. There is no one in the universe who is more of an authority to tell you what you can and can't do, or to tell you, oh, you're not fulfilling what you're supposed to do. You are the only one who has that authority. Your heart is your authority. So whatever that dream is, oh, I know what I was going to say. So with that overwhelm, you know, it's like we feel so small in comparison to the world or the universe, right? And like, well, my dreams and desires are meaningless in this big world. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel like you're not worthy, that you don't deserve to have what you want. But you know what? The universe wants you to be happy. Otherwise, it wouldn't give you those desires as a cue on which way to go. And the thing is, again, it's breadcrumbs. It's not like everything all at once. It's breadcrumbs. And so you follow the first little joy. And by embracing that joy, this is kind of like squirrel medicine. You embrace that joy that raises your frequency, and then you're ready for the next one. And it's like Dr. Wayne Dyer used to talk about, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Because when you follow those joys, when you follow those things that bring you joy, when you do those things that really like turn you on and get you all jazzed up, that is the feeling of raising your frequency, right? And so you are raising your perspective. And, you know, we're taught that, oh, having fun and being joyful, that's on the side. We have to get down and do our work, right? We're responsible to do certain things, and we have to put in our time and the sweat of our brow. And it's like, no, the work you're meant to do will be, I was going to say easy. It's not necessarily that the work is easy, but it'll be like the path of least resistance. It's like you have certain talents and certain likes and certain gifts for a reason, because that is the work you came here to do. And so instead of leaving the joy and everything on the side, I'll just do that on the weekend, bring it, prioritize it. Prioritize your joy. Because from a place of joy, you are so much more of a valuable, productive member of society. And when you're acting from joy, your perspective changes and you open up to even more joy. And then more joy. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Because as you follow each happy little breadcrumb, all of a sudden, boom, there's another one ahead of you. And pretty soon, you're miles and miles down the path toward your dreams. You're like, holy crap, how did I get here already? Right? And so rather than wrestling with yourself and trying to feel worthy or thinking you're not worthy of it, oh, it's just me, I'm not worth it, whatever. Know that you are. And the universe values you. The universe loves you, or it would not give you those things that bring you a little thrill, a little, makes your heart dance. And the thing is, so Beaver, by following his joy is to take down trees and build dams and to build lodges. He's not thinking about how it affects everyone else, but by fulfilling his dreams, he actually increases the well-being of every living being around him. He creates new water features where there's more places for the animals to come and drink. There's more places for animals that need water, like dragonflies, etc., to be born in. Makes the area more resistant to wildfires. It makes the area more resistant to flooding because it creates more bogs and marshy areas that can soak in the rains. So everyone around him benefits from him following his heart. And it's the same for you. Following your heart, everyone benefits. And the thing is, you don't have to be looking, okay, how can I help here? How can I help there? How can I help over there? You take care from your heart, take care of yourself. It overflows. Like I've been talking about this video that I can't seem to shut up about. A few weeks ago, I saw this video where this Buddhist monk had a glass and a pitcher of water. And he was like, this is the way we think it works. And he filled up his glass. He poured it out and he filled it up. He's like, we think we have to fill up our cup and then we have to empty it for someone else. And then we have to fill up our cup and then we have to empty it for someone else. He's like, that's not the way it's supposed to work. He goes, this is the way it's supposed to work. He took the glass, he started filling it with the pitcher, and he just kept filling and filling and filling and filling. Pretty soon the cup was full and it was overflowing. And that's like the beaver pond. You just built your own little beaver pond. And the water that flows over is the water that helps other people find their way. You're not supposed to empty yourself out for the sake of someone else. You're supposed to keep your cup full and trust that overflow as you're beaming and radiating out this more authentic, beautiful, loving light. Who doesn't benefit from that, right? So do what your heart tells you. Follow your joy. And by doing that, you are helping everyone else. It's not an either or. It's a non-zero sum. When we all get better, we all get better. So take care of yourself and know that that's not selfish, that is taking care of everyone around you. And those dreams are valuable. The universe and the world needs you to follow those dreams. The universe is counting on you. And a lot of times, we think, well, who am I to be fabulous or to be, a light in this world or whatever. But that's what you came here for. And the more you live your own light, the more you give other people permission to live their light. Okay? Does that make sense? So whatever makes your heart happy, do that. Again, it may be a process, but focus on your own heart, your own fulfillment, knowing that as you find your joy, you're bringing more joy into the world than was there before, than what would be there if you weren't here, right? There's enough ugliness, there's enough sadness in the world. The world needs more joy. So don't wait for the rest of the world to wake up and be joyful. Sing and dance and be that light. As an example, a couple of years ago was my very first, I went to my first Sundance, which is a Lakota ceremony. And it's for the dancers, like they are fasting for 4 days, no food or water. And there are eagle dancers who are out there for the full 4 days in the hot sun. And they pierce their chest and they are tied to the tree that's in the center of the area. And so it's a very brutal thing. And after at the end of that Sundance, one of the dancers sought me out and came to me and thanked me for my laugh, right? Because I'm there in an energetic, supportive thing. I'm there with people, and we're joking and laughing. And my laugh, if you've ever heard it, really carries. Like when we go to a festival or something, my laugh is the rallying point. From wherever, however big the site is, people are like, oh, there's Patrick. Okay, everybody will meet at Patrick's laugh. And so the fact that he was in such pain and suffering and stuff, which was his choice, but hearing that laughter helped him to find, it made everything lighter for him. It raised his vibration. So be that vibration of joy. And if people don't like it, that's their lesson. Because being in your own light and radiating love, you can do no harm. People might react in different ways. Be like, God, I wish they would shut up or whatever. But it's kind of like, there's more people waking up than ever ever before on the planet, right? But a lot of people are not morning people, right? And so they hear the laughter and they hear it's like, oh my God, I just want to go back to sleep. So there's certain people that will react to that in a way you might not expect, or in a negative way, and that has nothing to do with you. That is total projection on their part. But by you being at your highest best at any moment, you're actually planting a seed in their heart of what it looks like, what it feels like. They may not, that seed may not germinate for years or lifetimes, but you planted a seed that it will grow at some point. It's inevitable, okay? All right. So card number 4 for Valerie. I guess I'm glad that, I thought it was going to be a shorter night, but apparently I'm being a little verbose. Plus, the fairies keep playing with us. So this might be our last card. Well, the last reading for people. And I always pull an extra card at the end, so. All right. Card number 4 for Valerie. I've had an earworm in my head all day. I just popped back in. I'm just a Coca-Cola cowboy. You're just a Coca-Cola cowboy. You got an Eastwood smile and Robert Redford hair. You walked across my heart like it was Texas. I can't remember the rest, but anyway. All right, Valerie. I don't know why that came up. But I hadn't really sung tonight yet, so that was your musical accompaniment. I find that when I start listening to 80s country music, that I'm healing some really deep childhood stuff. So that's what's been coming up for me. All right, Valerie. Nope, one more. Okay. All right. Valerie, you got the one card that came up right tonight. Yay! So, possum. Possum, of course, is the actor of the animal kingdom, right? And so, I think this is... I think it feels like it's a validation and kind of a, like a, You go, girl, like, that's the message from the universe. It's like you have, to some extent, eliminated the fourth wall. It's like seeing the cracks in the props and the background and stuff, seeing that this world is an illusion and that you really do have, don't like using the word control, but influence, right? Because your life is kind of a co-creative venture between you and Creator. But the thing is, there is no separation. You and Creator are one, right? And so, you know, we still, even in the spirit, on the spiritual path, we have this tendency to be like, well, this is what Spirit wants me to do, but I don't know if I want to do it, kind of thing. And we don't trust it. But it's like, it's just you. You're the only one present. And it's you giving yourself the directions. And it's you giving yourself the intuitive hits. And so you're not going to give yourself guidance that is counterproductive or harmful. And so it's kind of like, that's kind of like what's happening, like seeing beyond that fourth wall to realize that you're not the character you're playing, but you are that you are the creator, you're the director, and the actor. You're playing a character, but who you are on a soul level is so much more vast than this little character, kind of cardboard cutout character kind of thing. And the good news with that as well is the whole, like, the slings and arrows thing, right? Possum is immune to snake bites and venom and all kinds of things. And I like to think that that's because a possum realizes that she is in the world, not of the world, that she is beyond the world, that her true self is beyond the world, so that nothing that happens in the world can actually touch her. It's like the slings and arrows. It's like a dream, right? And like in the dream, you can be hit, affected, but it can't touch who you really are in your waking life, right? And so it's kind of expanding that model to the point that this life and who you are right now is a dream. And anything that happens here cannot affect who you are as the awakened being on the other side of this dream, of this illusion. So you're waking up, and it's like realizing that, you know, you have been through enough crap and hard times, and you have come through every single thing, and you have watched miracles happen in front of your eyes, right? And so it's kind of like that, like it's starting to sink in that, oh, this wasn't an anomaly. This wasn't just a fluke. This is how the universe works, and I can trust this, right? And because you know you're an actor, and because you are the star of your own production, you don't have to read anybody else's script, right? It's all improv. And again, like what I was saying with Carly, like being in your own power, following your own bliss and your own joy, you're going to confound people. people are going to like, they'll present you with something, or they'll say something to you. And, you know, and then by just being in the moment and letting things come out of your mouth, it's not going to be what anyone was expecting, right? It's going to be, you know, the way you do that. And that's going to make people stop for a second. It's like like everything is flowing and people are just reading off their scripts and doing what's expected of them. And all of a sudden here comes someone that says something totally off script, and just boom. It's like they're, oh, they have to stop to take it in and think about what you said, because they were expecting a certain answer. And if you had given that answer, they would have just, you know, kept in that dream and that sleep. And so it's almost like you're, oh, that's so interesting. Okay, I just had this huge insight. Years ago, while I was driving, you know, when I'm driving and I see a dead animal along the road or whatever, I always check in and just see if they need any help passing over, or, you know, and it's very, very rare that they do. It's like, especially wild animals, are not as attached to their bodies, their physical selves, as we are. And so a lot of times it's like, boom, boom. They're not even long. They're long enough to feel the pain of whatever happened. And so one night I was driving and I saw a possum along the side of the road. I checked in. I'm like, are you okay? Do you need help? And the possum was, nope, I'm fine. And then it was like, in my mind's eye, I saw this. It started out as like this, just this little slit, and it just got longer and longer, and then it opened up wider and wider, and the possum crawled in, and then it closed down again. And it was like, you know, possums are the only North American marsupials. They have a pouch. And it was like, I watched like the mother goddess of possums open up her pouch into the afterlife and watch this possum crawl in, right? And in a way, with where you are right now, it's like you're holding that curtain open. Not only do you recognize that there's no fourth wall, you're actually holding that. You're holding that pouch open for light to come in, for people to get affected by that light. Does that make sense? So by being yourself, doing things in your own quirky, original, unique way, you are actually bringing more light into the world that is making other people have to stop in their tracks to figure out what's going on. It jolts them awake, because it's like, oh, that wasn't what I expected. And so it's like that holding that light open, holding the curtains open so the light gets in a little bit more. How cool is that? That is so cool. So keep going. Bringing in more light. Alrighty. Whew. It's a good thing there weren't more people here tonight, because we are almost out of time. I thought it was going to be a shorter night. But so I'm going to pull one more card. And it's so fun. It is. That's the joy, like I was talking about with Beaver. Follow that joy. All right, I'm going to pull one more card for the community. Kind of like, this is our community card, the animal that's volunteering to walk with all of us. And while I am shuffling, I'm going to remind you to please share my video. I'm trying to get my voice out further, and you can help by sharing this to friends. You can tag people in the comments, whatever. But please share my video. And I also have my PayPal and Venmo information linked to the top of the comments. If you feel you've gotten something from tonight and you want to reciprocate, I am beyond grateful for anything you wish to give to me to support my life so that I can do my work, so that I can be here to help you find your path, right? So it's a beautiful reciprocity, and thank you. Anything else? I am still, a lot of you know, I had to give up my office, but I am still doing my shamanic work at Four Sisters Holistic Remedies. The store owner was really kind and made a space behind the secret door for me to do readings and healings and stuff. So still kind of trying to stick to my normal hours, Monday through Friday, 11 to 6, and second and fourth Saturdays, 11 to 6. Doesn't always work. Sometimes I go on days off. Other times I have to take a day off that I normally would be there. But that's where you can find me. And you can actually set up sessions with me on my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, where you can learn more about me. You can learn more about the kind of things I offer. Readings and healings and teachings. Because I don't have a teaching space right now, I'm gonna probably branch off and do some of my classes online. So look for that. If you follow my Facebook page, you'll be sure to see that. I sometimes don't get around to posting things on my website as much as I should, but if you follow my Facebook page, you will see that. And when we're done here, I will share this video to my Facebook page, and I will also upload it to my YouTube channel. So please visit my. You're welcome, Valerie. Anytime. Visit my YouTube channel, Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. And you can watch this as many times as you want. Or I have at least 5 years worth of videos up there of these readings, of ceremonies, of different things. And so you can, if you're feeling like you need some guidance, you can go on there and just randomly pick one of these videos, choose a number, you know, between 1 and 6 or whatever it was that week. And this week is 1 through 4. But, it's always there as a free resource for you, okay? So subscribe to my channel. That helps. That helps other people find it, like my videos. That affects the algorithm so that more people can find me. And I really appreciate you taking the time to spend this time with me. It may not seem like much, but it is a commitment, and it's a commitment to your heart, to learning more, you know. No matter what I'm doing, whether it's readings or healings or teachings, oh my, everything I do is about education. It's about empowering people. And so you may think you're just watching this, just passively watching this, but there are no accidents, and my job is to empower you and to teach you, educate you about yourself and about how you relate to the universe. So, anything else? I think that is it for tonight. Whew, I am exhausted. I had a couple of different healings I did today, so I'm a little whooped. I'm happy and like I got done, and my client was like, "Are you doing okay?" I'm like, I am feeling so high right now. Like, it doesn't take anything from me to do those kind of things, but I do get tired. It's not a drained kind of tired. It's just like one of those, oh, it's a good kind of tired. Like, I did my job. So, all right, let's pull one more card for you, and then I will stop yapping and let you go. Oh, 2 cards. All right, so 2 cards this week. We've got Lizard and Jaguar in reverse. Lizard is about dreaming. This is what I was talking about earlier, about how whatever is in front of you is doable. Whatever is in front of you is part of the path, because you are the dreamer. I was just talking about how this world, how your life is a dream, and you are the dreamer. And so everything in some way comes from you, right? And so there's nothing to fear in what's happening. I mean, and that's not to be like, oh, what are you afraid of? Blah, blah, blah. It's at least on some level know that no matter what is happening is a part of your path. Therefore, you have the ability to deal with it in whatever way it is. Sometimes if it's an obstacle, it might be time to stop and just rest. And sometimes the obstacle is the way. But you are the dreamer. There's no getting this wrong. You can't get it wrong. And also to dream big. Dream big. Jaguar in reverse. Jaguar is about integrity. And so it's like I always use like the integrity of a ship as an example, right? If there's holes in the ship, there's going to be water coming in. And, you know, maybe the ship can handle a little bit of that, but if you hit a certain point, that ship is going down, right? And it's like, again, it's like a ship doesn't sink because of what's outside of it. A ship sinks because of what gets into it. And so integrity is about wholeness. It's not just doing what's right when no one's looking. It's also about filling your cup, like I said earlier, being that light. Picture yourself as a star, literally radiating light and love in every direction. Because when you're doing that, nothing can come in. So like right now, with Jaguar in reverse, it's kind of like, look at the areas. It's the shackles on, shackles off thing that Martha Beck taught me. If something feels like the shackles are going on, makes you feel smaller. It makes you contract. It makes you feel afraid or having to protect yourself. Whatever made you do that, whether it was a thought or something in the outside world, that is false. That is not true. If it feels like the shackles have come off, even just a little bit, if you feel a little bit lighter, you can breathe a little bit easier because of a thought or because of something you did or whatever, that's a yes. And that is a sign that that is your path. And that is how you get that light, so that there's no holes in your energy field, so nothing can come in, right? And so pay attention to the places that you feel weak or small or inadequate. And how do I put this? Rather than focusing on the negatives of where you feel that, shift your gaze to the areas where you feel strong, where you feel powerful, and let that light flood into those areas. Does that make sense? You know, because what we focus on increases. You know, where consciousness goes, energy flows. So if you're constantly looking for the places that you need to improve, then you're just going to keep that hole open. It's like, you know, keep picking at a wound or something. But it's good to see where that light might be, where there might be a hole in your energy, where like blind spots of where you give your power away. and bring your strength to that place. And you can do that namaste thing, right? The God in me sees the God in you. You can do that for yourself. And you can look at yourself in those places where you feel small or inadequate and say that, namaste. The divine in me sees the divine in you, even if it's yourself. And that will help to bring that divine light out so that that's not an issue anymore. In fact, in the places where you do feel weak, where you do feel inadequate, chances are that's not your path. That's the society trying to tell you your responsibilities and what you're supposed to do to be a good citizen, etc. But that's not a part of your path. So it feels restrictive. It feels you're small and inadequate because you were never meant to do that. Focus on where your strengths are and follow that joy. And that will take care of filling in any of those holes that are around you. And like I've been talking about tonight, Jaguar is the sovereign. She is the queen of the jungle. And she sees to her own needs. Her heart is her authority. She doesn't need to ask permission or justify or anything. Her heart is her authority because her heart is what connects her to all living things in her world. And her heart guides her to take out the weakest or the slowest or the sickest of the deer, and therefore increases the well-being of the herd. So her taking care of her needs, following her heart, she actually helps improve the well-being of everyone around her. And so that well-being comes in that circle of life back to her. It's a circle, right? It's not a pyramid. So claim that sovereignty and know that when you're moving from your heart, you can do no harm. Okay? So that is it for tonight. I thank you so much. It's a good thing there weren't more people here because we would have been here for at least another half hour or so. But so I hope you will join me again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. If you don't know about Wednesday nights, I do a sacred pipe ceremony at 7 o'clock right here on my Facebook page. If you don't know what that is, or you do know what that is and you're curious or whatever, join me 7 o'clock right here. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right, bye.